Hello, my friends. It's Monday. We are here, both of us, John and John, and it's time for our Monday Live. I've got some stuff I want to share, which I'm excited about. First thing, why do I have two heads? Hey, if you're here watching the replay, drop a comment. Let me know you were here. Hello, first viewer. Welcome. I have two heads primarily because I found the filter that makes me have two heads, but then I thought, well, why would I want to use that? And wow, that's interesting. I like to be creative. One of the things that I'm connecting more and more in my work is allowing creativity to come through in my sharing of the ideas. But also there's this new insight that I had recently around namelessness. And it's through the studying that I'm doing around Martin Heidegger and Werner Erhard and the idea of giving a name to something defines it and puts a point on it, and that's useful, but it also makes it therefore impossible to actually understand and experience what it is, because the moment you name something, you limit it. And that there's an actual greater power in not naming something, but explaining and expressing everything around it without actually giving it a name. And so I've been playing with that in my work and looking at things in myself, and it just struck me that one of the things that I've been struggling with in my work for a while is figuring out, like, what is my name? Now, I know my name, John Patrick Morgan Jr., Jr., because that's the name that I was given to by my father, but how to present that name, it's kind of a branding question. For a while, I presented myself as John Morgan in the beginning, but then it was such a basic, similar name that never stuck. People just forgot it. What was your name again? Mike, John, Tom? Well, you know, and so then it was like, oh, well, throw the P in there. John P. Morgan starts to, people remember it, trips them up. Hey, Paul, what's up? Fitz, good to see you guys. But then I started using J.P. Morgan to really invoke the power of the bank, which was great, and it connected me, and I read the history of J.P. Morgan, the banker, and I got a lot of insight around that, which I really loved, by the way. The House of Morgan, great book, and it shows that banking was something very different back in that day. It was the pinnacle of integrity and honor, and they, you know, the great J.P. Morgan banker saved the U.S. economy multiple times with eye contact and a handshake. Your word is your bond was coined by him. Character's credit was coined by him. And so integrity was really what banking was all about back then. So interesting how maybe it's not that same today. But anyway, so I was using the name format of my name, J.P. Morgan, for quite a while, and it was great because it evoked that power, but it also became really fucking annoying that everybody, when they met me, would ask, are you related to the bank? And it was like, no. And so I don't want to go with that anymore. And so I've been, and my John Patrick Morgan, my whole name's put out there. And so I've been playing with different things and then experiencing this as a challenge. What am I going to call myself? The other day I got an email from somebody that said, hey, Patrick. And I was like, oh, I guess you can call me that. And I was like, well, what if I went by Patrick Morgan? And then it just hit me as I'm studying namelessness and the power of not specifically defining something. And you can get more to the essence of it by not giving it a name, that maybe this is not a problem. Maybe this is an opportunity. And so now I'm playing with intentionally using my name in different formats to keep a loose grip on what my name even actually is, because spiritually, philosophically, I kind of like the idea of remembering that my name isn't me. And so people ask, what do you prefer to be called? And I say, I don't really have a preference. What would you like to call me? Call me Frank if you want, whatever you like. So having two heads in a Facebook Live kind of fits with I don't even know what my name is. Not because I don't have certainty, but because I'm choosing uncertainty as a path of creating something even more beautiful. Which leads me into unexpecting our baby. Now, I don't mean to make that sound like something traumatic. We are definitely very much looking forward to our baby being born. Everything's good. Couldn't be more healthy. Kalpna couldn't be more healthy. But I know there's this book, What to Expect When You're Expecting. And I was just walking with my wife today and thinking, you know what, like, I'm having like imaginations about what it's going to be like having a second kid, but I actually know that there's no fucking way we could know what it's going to be like once we have two kids in the house. Because I had my ideas about what it would be like when we didn't have a kid, that when we would have a kid, like take pictures from different lives, try to apply it to my life, try to imagine, but you can't. You can't imagine what it's like to have a kid until you have one. It's not possible. It activates parts of your neurology in your body that have been latent your entire life. It's like, boom, it's primal. And the complexity, and you can't even imagine it. And so right now I know that I can't possibly know what it's going to be like once our son is born. I can't know what it's going to be like. I can't imagine it. And so what's different now than last time is before I thought that I was imagining what it could be like after it happened. And now I'm trying to imagine what it would be like, but this time I know that I can't imagine it. And so I know that I can't know. And so I'm expecting the unexpected. And so I'm unexpecting what life is going to be like with our baby. And that's a fun little thing to share, but actually I think it's really important right now in the world to expect the unexpected. Because, of course, we can say because that makes sense, because we don't know what's going to happen, right, with COVID and the pandemic and the world, the economy. I mean, we're just starting to see the beginning of what the impact this is going to have economically and on everybody for the next maybe decade or more. And so there's a lot of unexpected. Like the COVID's going to become the least of our concerns, I think, in months and years to come. So there's a lot of uncertainty. And so when there's that uncertainty and the unexpected, there's fear. And so what do? What do you find certainty? How do you find certainty? Well, you don't go out there. You go in. One of the things that I work with my clients is one place to find certainty is in who you are and why you're here. Because that doesn't need to change until you're dead. And so anything can change out there. If you know who you are, what your values are, what you care about, what's important to you, and why you're here, what your mission is at a deep level, circumstances can change and you'll meet them with who you are and why you're here, and then you'll have something to do. What to do and how to do it shows up as the product of that interplay. So you can find certainty in who you are, but that's not the point I want to share right now. You can also find certainty in your uncertainty. The moment you actually welcome the fact that you don't know what the fuck's going to happen, you have just created certainty in that not knowing. And this doesn't just wordplay. This is actual an experience that a person could have. It's saying, you know what? I'm okay with not knowing what's going to happen, and that thing that was scary now becomes exciting. It's that willingness to say that it's okay. So expecting the unexpected makes you free. Being certain that you don't know what the fuck's going on means you're certain with your uncertainty, which you actually have the feeling of the first thing, the thing you choose. By being certain with your uncertainty, you actually feel certain, even though you don't know what's going to happen. It's like, I know I don't know what's going to happen feels good. I don't know what's going to happen doesn't feel good. But knowing I don't know feels really good. And so it's your relationship to what you don't know or your relationship to what you know. It's the meta relationship that actually creates your experience. And so it's simple. First of all, they're seeing that. This is where philosophy becomes applied and pragmatic and useful in your life. They're seeing that. It's a disembodied understanding. Then there's actually looking at it and being like, all right, you know what? I am just going to totally accept that I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm going to choose that that's okay. Why am I going to do that? Because it has me relax, and it has me be at peace. And I rest in my resourcefulness, not the resources that I can't be counting on. Take everything from me. Take everything. Drop me in a country where I can't speak the language. I will figure it out. I will create my way. I'll build myself up again. I've moved to different countries with different languages multiple times to test this for myself. Find a way to get a visa. Find a way to make money. Find a way to create friends in a social group. It's like, and so that's because I'm interested in developing my resourcefulness and my capacity to create from no matter the circumstances. But anyway, the point is to now rest in knowing that I don't know anything, and that's okay, and now I'm at peace. What else do I want to share? Fitz, I love that you're here and that you're cracking up. Who else is here? Kevin, good to see you, man. Mind blown? Boom, I love it. Cool. Hi, guys. If you're watching the replay, drop a comment. Fitness. So for 7 years, I've been CrossFitting, and I love it. I'm like the strongest. I'm 40, what am I, 41 or something? I'm the strongest I've ever been in my life. I have the highest metabolic capacity I've ever had in my life. It feels great. And I'm in a groove. I've been in a groove with fitness for a while. Like if I don't work out, I feel worse. Like it's just more easy to work out than to not. I've got fitness equipment in my backyard. I have a gym I used to go to. I have friends and community, and I love it. It's such a big part of my life. But I also have a sense that this groove I'm in with fitness has become a rut. And that's an interesting thing, isn't it? We use the metaphor of a groove. Like, oh, I'm in a groove. And then we use the metaphor I'm in a rut. Kind of physically, they're the same things, but they have very different implications. We want to be in a groove. We don't want to be in a rut. So what turns something from a groove to a rut, right? I think what happens, for me, I'm experiencing fitness as a rut more than a groove, is because now I feel like I'm not doing it from an expression of my values that I have today. 7 years ago, I had a certain particular set of values, and now my value set has evolved and changed, but I'm still doing the thing I was doing before. So who I am has evolved, but what I've been doing, which I was in a groove with, hasn't. So that groove has transformed from being a groove which creates and serves an expression of my values to a rut, which now takes me continually in a direction that's not complete completely aligned with my values. Now, that's not to say that fitness and being healthy isn't still aligned with my values. That part is, but there's different things. One of the insights I had last week, maybe you saw on my Instagram story if you follow me there, is that beauty is power. I was really caught up in the output of power in my fitness. That's part of my groove that became a rut. I need to output power. And the rut part is in a particular way, the amount of weight that I move or how fast I get it done. And I just saw that like my form was being sacrificed through that. And having good form and keeping good form is part of what is an interest in my longevity, not being injured, being able to do this for a long time. And so this is becoming, as I get older, more important. So my values are changing, and I saw that, oh wow, having beautiful form is actually a kind of power as well, because that impacts the world. That makes a difference. And so I'm watching my values shift and seeing how my fitness groove has become a rut, and it's allowing me, because I can see it that way, I can now step back. It's hard to get out of the groove rut because you're so conditioned to it, but it's like, slow down. Don't keep doing it and try new things. And so I'm just sharing that because it's giving me some of the space that I need to be able to try new things. I know that my mindset, everything I think about fitness, everything that I want is part of that rut and part of that expression. And I can't actually automatically, impulsively want new things unless I do new things. And so even though I love it, it's not serving me, because that love for it was something that was expressed through what I did when I was a different person 7 years ago, and I've changed. Marriage hour was such an important part of my relationship with my wife when we decided to start doing that. See, I coach from 9 to 11 and 12 to 2. We took that 11 to 12 time and we made it this sacred space every day where we ate together, or we made love, or we studied our marriage book that we're going through. And then school closed, and suddenly, like, poof, that was gone. Suddenly our son was around every day. And so we did, okay, you can have screen time before bed in the evening, and we'll take in the evening from 7 to 8 together. And it's like, we did it, but it slowly sucked more and more because we're just tired by that time. And we just saw the other day, we had an argument yesterday, and we saw, oh my God, it's because we haven't had any time to connect, even though we've had time, but we end up watching Netflix or just, moaning and listening to each other. It's like, doesn't have that same vitality. And so it's like, it's not just about having time every day with my wife. It's about having time every day with my wife at a time of the day where we are both vital, where our energy is high, when we're not drained, when our son's not around, and we can just be present with each other. And so it's like, so we've just hired our nanny now. Okay, you're supposed to be social distancing, but we're making our own choices and our own decisions. She's quarantining herself, we're quarantining ours, but together we've got this unit now, and she's taking our son, and we've got space. And today, for the first time since the pandemic, I guess, we had from 11 to 12 together. Pushed it to 12:30. Sorry I'm late Facebook Live, but that's why. 90 minutes we get to have now on Monday to be together. We had a talk. Well, my wife talked and I listened, which is good for me because I'm like, I remember to listen when I have like if I put it in my schedule, it's like, oh yeah, don't talk, just listen. So I listened to her tell me about her wine business that she's building and all the ideas she has about that. She's going to be teaching wine online. You can be able to be sharing that with you guys. And then we went for a walk, and I took her for a walk on my new circuit, which is in the cemetery, 1 block from us. It's like this massive park that nobody goes to. All the other little parks are just packed right now in Santa Monica. This one's empty, so everybody there is dead. So it's like, people don't like to go to cemeteries, I guess, but I like to, so I took her on a walk. We moved between all the gravestones, all in the grass. It's quiet. We're talking about life. We're looking at the ground and seeing people that lived and now are gone, and it was just a beautiful space. And so I'm so happy to have my marriage hour back in the late morning or in the middle of the day so that we can be connecting and creating when we're most vital and most connected. What else do I want to share? Writing tools. I've been using the same MacBook Pro since 2009 when I started my business. It's 2020. It's time for a new one. It was time a while ago, but these last couple Facebook Lives I did where the audio was cutting out, my MacBook just can't hang anymore. So I'm going to get a new MacBook, but not the Pro, I don't think. I'm going to get a lower model because I don't do much editing or anything. I just do this, basically. So I'm so excited because I'm starting to write again, and to have a shiny new MacBook where I can open it and the keys work and there's a battery that lasts, because right now I have to be plugged in. Just excited for that, so you can look forward to my live audios not cutting out when I'm in my office. And the last piece I'll share is just, Alan, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. An expression of beauty as power. Thank you for being that inspiration. I shared about that before you got here. And Dawn, good to see you again. The last thing to share is, I think I've probably mentioned this before, but some time ago recently, I just decided that I was going to say that I'm a philosopher. And it's been like coming home. It's been like a freedom that has been amazing. I feel like I can think back to early time in my life when I even realized what philosophy was, maybe just before college or at college. It's like, it felt naughty. Like, you can't just talk about life and think about life and write about life and make a living out of that. You can't, that's not. And so I got as close as I possibly could without going all the way with life coaching. But I just feel like I've gone all the way. And I said to Kalpna as we were on our graveyard walk, I said, it's like I've been wanting to be a fine artist my whole life and settling for graphic design. And like, I'm still going to do graphic design, but now I get to just be a fine artist and I get to really express myself creatively, and there's no rules. I can just do it, and it feels so good. I've been reading classic philosophy. I've been telling people when they say, what do you do, that I'm a philosopher, and nothing's ever felt more true, relaxed, and honest. People have been responding to me with, wow, that really makes sense. I can see that for you. So it's nice to come home. Thank you for guys for being here and for watching. I love you, and if we're already working together or friends or something in real life, which I hope we are, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.